Good day, everybody. Good day to my four beautiful daughters. MMCQ, Daddy misses you. Can't wait to see you. Okay, so I'm going to give you an update on the shooting as I know it so far upon the investigation. Okay, there's a CATA bus stop. Okay, there's reports between 7 and 8:12 that McRae got off a CATA bus. Still don't know which bus route, or which bus exact stop he stopped at. Okay. And they don't know where he purchased his ticket or where he got on the bus. So keep that in mind. So there was eyewitness reports of him walking eastbound, okay, past that art museum right there. Then he comes back and allegedly enters this door right here. This is Berkey Hall, and that's the classroom that they have the room 114 walled off. Okay, so it says the first call to dispatch was at 8:18 p.m. to 911 in Ingham County. The call of an active shooter. It said officers were in that building, okay, at 8:20. So keep that in mind. So now, by the time the officers are in there, McRae has to be out. So keep that in mind. The call comes in at 8:18. Okay, so let's say that the shots went off about 2 to 3 minutes before that, and he's out the door. He's out this door. Now, they reported 2 dead and 5 injured in Berkey Hall. They didn't say how many shell casings were found or what type of bullets were used in there, which was another red flag. Okay, so McRae gets out of there after committing one mass shooting in a classroom with no security cameras on the inside until this day. There's no security cameras on the inside of that building. There is some for the birds, though. Down by the river, they have a security camera pointed right at the birdhouse. Okay, so he passes up. He decides, you know what? I'm gonna pass up this building. I don't know what it's called, but there's people in there. He's gonna pass up all of this right here. Okay, think about that. Now, this took me 3 minutes and 5 seconds to walk. So let's say McRae, the call came in at 8:18. Let's say he's out of there at 8:17. The caller realizes the shooter ran away. Now it's safe to call. Okay, so let's say 8:17. That puts McRae in that union at about 8:20 when officers are entering Berkey. Okay, but at this time, and it doesn't say which police department entered first even. At this time, we have East Lansing Police Department right behind this HQ building here. 1 block behind it, kitty corner. Okay, so if the call went in at 8:18 to Ingham County Dispatch, it should have went out to all surrounding police departments. Okay, and they start blocking off all these exits so the shooter can't get away. And they're looking for somebody with a gun and running away from a building. So they missed him, obviously. Okay, and then it says McRae leaves at 8:26 from Union after killing just Brian Frazier. Now remember, he passes up this entire parking garage with people in it, 8:30 at night, just after the Super Bowl, the day after, okay? Passes up all these buildings. Remember, it's a college town. Campus is in session. They just had Super Bowl parties. There's tons of people on campus. And he decides to pass all of them up. Nobody notices he has a gun. And he's able to walk all the way down here. No cop, no firefighter, okay, no ambulance driver sees him at all. Somehow, magically, okay. And then Kent Sons Construction. We'll get to that later. Okay, they'll come into play here. So I went and interviewed a bunch of people. I actually investigated, and I asked everyone I interviewed, have police questioned you? They all said no. The police never questioned business owners on this block, this entire block. The one guy that said police called said they asked if they had security cameras. What does that tell you? Okay, and a lot of these businesses have closed down. Okay, so McRae leaves here at 8:26. Says officers arrive at 8:27 and 8:28 somehow, but again, there should be officers lined up with this street record. So, and then the door, it reports 1 shot fired in between these 2 buildings. Now, I talked to an eyewitness who was working at Sparty's the night of the shooting inside this cafeteria. Now, Brian was working his job in the cafeteria kitchen that night. How does an active shooter, a mass shooter, okay, just target him in the cafeteria? Well, my eyewitness that I interviewed, okay, he said the door was left open. So that tells me right away, this is a pre-planned domestic terrorist act. Whoever planned this. It shows in the timeline of events they gave too, because it doesn't add up. Okay? So he gets out of this door. Again, he goes into a prop door, then he comes back out of it. Okay? Then he travels, I think it's about 4.2 miles, I think, from this location to where he allegedly killed himself. Took me an hour to walk. He doesn't have a car, he's on foot. Eyewitness says the buses were shut down right away. Okay, this all should have been shut down. And maybe it was, and maybe he got out another way. And we'll get to that. So how does he end up all the way on High Street and Lake Lansing near that McDonald's? Okay, well, Kent Sons Construction, that's where one of their headquarters is, right where McRae died. Now, if you watch my videos on YouTube or Facebook, you'll notice I've been finding these like underground tunnels all over campus. I had no idea they were there. That's one logical explanation of how somebody could get from point A, 4.2 miles to point B without being seen. That's logical. Let's be honest about that. Unless you had a transporter or a helicopter, okay, that's the only way you would not be seen. Now, here's the kicker. Emergency alerts went out at 8:30 and 8:31. There's security cameras on the outside of that door. And again, they released security footage a couple days after the incident. Really bad, choppy footage. Why didn't they post the shooter's picture within right of seeing the security camera? You pull the security camera footage and you at least put the picture out with the emergency alert. And you use your facial recognition software to get his name. Okay? It's that easy to get it out. So for over 3.5 hours, they didn't have a name or a picture out of a mass shooter with security cameras all over. Can you believe that? Well, come to find out, there's not a lot of security cameras around this campus. And still to this day, after a mass shooting, there is not a lot of security cameras. Why is that? Why would a large campus like this that just had a mass shooting not want to have extra security cameras? Think about it for a second. Why would they not want people seeing what goes on inside these buildings? So think about that for a second. I mean, they just had a mass shooting in Berkey Hall. They walled off from 114. Not one camera inside the building. What does that tell you? Common sense tells you, well, something's going on in that building that they don't want anybody to know about. Okay? So that's where the investigation is at today. I can guarantee you there's a lot of people involved with this cover up. Okay? I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. If you've been following, what I've proved is if you use common sense, logic, and even common timestamps, okay? And if you go try to verify a police report number, you won't get one. I called and got denied multiple times, okay? It's just, call this what you want. It's a cover up. It goes up top too, I believe. Otherwise, they wouldn't have had to single out Brian. So here's what I really want to investigate. What was Brian up to before he died? Because a shooter, that's the laws of probability for that shooter exiting Berkey Hall and then just kill Brian, slim to none. Slim to none. So he knew something, or he reported something. He did something good, because that's the only way police or whoever did this, there had to be police involved, because they're the ones making all the reports. They're the high command. Okay? So I'm going off what the police's own version of events was. As you can see, it's very messy. A lot of donut holes. I ate all the donuts. And I love my police. Like, I do. Even the ones that got corrupted by this. I know there's good cops. I love you, but you're wrong. Like, any which way you look at it. Like, this isn't going away. So, I know you all think it is, like you do all your other cover-ups. This one's not going to go away. Promise you. No matter what you do to me or my family. How many times you threaten me, okay, with your state trooper buddy or police officers flashing their guns at me, okay? I like it shows how soft you are. All right, love you, America. I got your back. Got my FBI honey queens back, their families. Okay, intelligence community, Navy, Army, Marines. Okay, Space Force, Air Force, Space Command. They're high command. Hey, beat me up, Scotty. MMCQ. Thanks for teaching your daddy what to do.